Hello, Nazmeen. Hi. Am I audible? Let me know, Nazmeen, because you're the only candidate whom I can see. Am I audible? Am I audible, Nazmeen? Good evening. Good evening. Am I audible? Yes, audible. Okay. All right, people. So let maximum students join and we'll start as soon as possible. We have only 3 students right now. Okay, I'll just inform. Let maximum students join. So Nazmeen, when is your exam? Tripti, when is your exam? When is your exam? Anshita live start आया है हिंदी live. हाँ. Good evening, Ambika. Good evening. So when is exam? Nazmeen, Tripti, Ambika. When is your exams? कब है सबके एग्जाम? सबने एग्जाम डेट ले लिया है? When is the exam? How's the preparation going on? Most probably Feb. So not taken exam date, Nazmeen. Not taken exam date. Yes. Need to book. Okay, need to book. Okay. So let maximum. I have only 5 students. Nazmeen, Tripti, Ambika. Right. I can see only 3 viewers here in the class. Where are others? Others are not informed or nobody want Hindi session. Nobody wants Hindi session. No, ma'am. No vacation for me yet. Okay. All right. So you will book your exam. You need to book your exam. Feb. Most of you have exams in Feb. All right. All right. Okay. So people, you all can see my screen at the same time, right? You all can see my screen. Yes, okay. So let's not waste time. Let others join. We will start our task. So as you all can see my screen, that's the first slide of our task. So we'll read the writing task. Each one of you writing task is visible to each one of you. Writing task is visible. Once it is visible, say yes and we'll start reading. We'll start reading. Once you say yes, the screen is visible. You can see the writing task. Each one of you, yes, you can see the writing task. है ना? आप लोग सब writing task देख सकते हो मेरा. So let's start reading. Using the information given in the case note. Yes. Using the information given in the case note, write a referral letter. ये एक referral letter है. This is referral letter. Okay, Kavya is there. Okay, great. Write a referral letter to Miss Harley Quinn. Harley Quinn is the reader. This is a referral letter. Title of the reader is provided. Miss Harley Quinn is a community nurse at Community Health Center, Gotham, California, outlining relevant information and requesting home visits for continued care. Okay, so we are going to write a referral letter. ये एक referral letter है. Name of the reader is clearly given. Name of the reader is Miss Harley Quinn. Miss Harley Quinn is a community nurse at Community Health Center, Gotham, California, and we are going to request home visits. So what are the keywords of this letter? I am writing to refer so and so who requires home visits for continuing care. Why does the patient require continuing care? For home visit. Why does the patient require home visit? This is what we need to discover. हमें यही जानना है कि पेशेंट को कंटिन्यूइंग केयर की जरूरत क्यों है और क्यों है पेशेंट को होम विजिट्स की जरूरत. तो ये हमें डिस्कवर करना है. राइटिंग टास्क सबको क्लियर है? ये किस टाइप का लेटर है? ये एक रेफरल लेटर है. ये सबको क्लियर है? यहाँ तक कोई भी इंफॉर्मेशन नहीं है कि ये नोन केस है कि अननोन केस है. सो फार अब तक ये अननोन केस है ना. सो फार अब तक ये अननोन केस है. सो यहां तक की इंफॉर्मेशन सबको क्लियर है. यहां तक की इंफॉर्मेशन सबको क्लियर है. क्लियर अप टिल हियर पीपल, लेट मी नो. ओके. All right, people. So let's read further. Today's date is 16/5/2020. So that's what the date of the letter. 16/5/2020 is the date of the letter. Mr. Wayne is an elderly patient at the Flex International Hospital. Come on, tell me. Mr. Wayne is an elderly patient. What tense is that? Come on, answer in the chat box. मिस्टर वेन इज एन एल्डरली पेशेंट. व्हाट टेंस इज दैट? क्या टेंस है वो? मिस्टर वेन एक एल्डरली पेशेंट है फ्लेक्स इंटरनेशनल हॉस्पिटल के. ये एक सिंपल प्रेजेंट टेंस है पीपल, है ना. ये एक सिंपल प्रेजेंट टेंस है कि मिस्टर वेन जो है वो एक एल्डरली पेशेंट है फ्लेक्स इंटरनेशनल हॉस्पिटल के, और यू आर द अटेंडिंग नर्स. सो यू आर द अटेंडिंग नर्स इज ऑल्सो सिंपल प्रेजेंट टेंस, एंड मिस्टर वेन इज एन एल्डरली पेशेंट एट द फ्लेक्स इंटरनेशनल हॉस्पिटल. दिस इज ऑल्सो सिंपल प्रेजेंट टेंस. नेम ऑफ द पेशेंट इज ब्रूस वेन. ब्रूस वेन 79 ईयर्स ओल्ड है. ये डिवोर्स्ड है और इनकी जो डायग्नोसिस है वो सबड्यूरल हेमरेज है ना. सो नेम ऑफ द पेशेंट इज मिस्टर ब्रूस वेन. ही इज 79 ईयर्स ओल्ड. ही इज डिवोर्स्ड and his diagnosis is subdural hemorrhage. Whatever statement I said about the background, can you tell me in which tense did I say? In which tense did I speak all the points regarding his name, age, and status and diagnosis? In which tense did I say? In which tense did I expand all of you? I expanded it in simple present tense, isn't it? I expanded it in simple present tense because it's the basic fact about the patient. ये जो भी facts होते हैं patient के, वो हम simple present tense में ही लिखते हैं. Clear है ना सबको? Clear है सबको? Right? Okay, चलो आगे बढ़ते हैं. Okay, so talking about the social background of the patient lives alone, retired police officer. कैसे expand करोगे आप इसको? How will you expand the statement lives alone and retired police officer? How will you expand this? Mr. Bruce Wayne lives alone, comma retired police officer. आप इसे कैसे expand करेंगे? How will you expand? Lives alone, retired police officer. How will you expand? Mr. Bruce lives alone. Full stop. He is a retired police officer, isn't it? Mr. Wayne lives alone. Full stop. He is a retired police officer, and Mr. Wayne lives alone. He lives alone and he is a retired police officer. Is what tense, people? It is simple present tense, right, Kavya? Very good. Simple present tense. Occasional depression. Now see, the word occasional means occasional. See, frequent means he is getting in frequent intervals. So occasional means not every time, right? Not every time. That means उसमें भी एक interval है. So occasional depression and insomnia जिसके लिए वो antidepressants पर है. Patient को occasional depression और insomnia है जिसके लिए patient antidepressants पर है. How will you expand? How will you expand? Patient dash occasional depression, comma, for which he dash on antidepressants. How will you expand? Yes. How will you expand? Yes, how will you expand? Yes, people waiting for your answers. How will you expand? Yes, Mr. X has occasional depression, comma, for which he is on antidepressants, isn't it? Mr. X has occasional depression and insomnia जिसके लिए comma, for which he is on antidepressant. right? You can even use therefore. He has occasional depression and insomnia, semicolon, therefore, comma, he takes antidepressants, or he is on antidepressant. Or you can even say Mr. Wayne is on antidepressant, comma, as he has occasional depression and insomnia. All these ways are correct. Okay, all these ways are correct. Periodic problem, again, periodic means something which happens in regular interval, है ना? So periodic again means something which happens in regular interval. So periodic problem with self administration of medication, so in which tense and how will you expand? Periodic problem with self administration of medication, in which tense and how will you expand? How will you expand? Yes, right, Ambika. He has occasional depression and insomnia, comma, for which he is on antidepressant. Correct, correct, correct. And how will you expand this statement? Periodic problem with self-administration of medication. How will you expand? He has periodic problem with self administration of medication, because something, again, periodic problem means a problem which is coming in a regular interval, right? So again, that is also something which is happening in regular interval. So something which is happening in regular interval, again present tense. Something which is happening as a fact, simple present tense. So simple present tense, he has periodic problem with self administration of medication. Very good, da, very good. Hypertension and diabetes mellitus, time is not mentioned. Hypertension and diabetes mellitus, time is not mentioned. There is no time indication, which means he has hypertension and diabetes mellitus. He has hypertension and diabetes mellitus, and if time indication was given, I would have used he has been diagnosed with the hypertension and diabetes mellitus since. Or if duration of time was given, I would have written he has had hypertension and diabetes mellitus for, right? So if time indication is given, you will write has had. If no time indication is given with this lifestyle disease, you will write it in simple present tense. Is it clear, everyone? Is the difference between has and has had is clear to each one of you? Let me know. The difference between has and has had is clear to each one of you? Let me know. Right? So if you just expand the whole social background, it will look something like he lives alone, he is a retired police officer, he has occasional depression and insomnia, comma, for which he is on antidepressant, he is an aged pensioner, he has periodic problem with self administration of medication, he has hypertension and diabetes mellitus. So can you tell me the whole social background has been represented in which tense? The whole social background has been represented in simple present tense. Okay, the whole social background has been represented in simple present tense. So I hope this social background is clear to each one of you. All right. So what was the admission detail? Talking about the admission detail, the reason why he was admitted was due to a fall at home. Okay, home is the most specific place, people. With home, we always use preposition at. Okay, home is the most specific place. With home, we always use preposition at. So he had a fall at home, due to which he had severe head injury. He had loss of consciousness and difficulty in breathing. So he had fall at home, he had severe head injury, he had loss of consciousness, he had difficulty in breathing due to fall. So as per the management, close neurological monitoring and intensive care unit was provided, but there was no need of any surgical intervention. So that was a reason for the fall, and that was how the management was given. Okay, so I just messed up with something. Okay, just a minute, people. Right. So as per the progress, he was shifted to what? So just a second, people. Even I had this confusion. Management progress. Yes. So after the management was provided, after providing the needed management during the hospitalization, as part of progress, he was shifted to ward. Okay, he was shifted to ward on 12/5/2020 and physiotherapy was started, and he had difficulty in mobilization and performing his activities of daily living. People, capital A, capital D, capital L, small s. Okay, capital A, capital D, capital L, small s. This is the abbreviation which is used for activities of daily living. People, ADLS is an accepted terminology, yes or no? Is ADLS an accepted terminology? Can we use in our letter writing ADLS? Can ADLS be used in letter writing? Is it accepted terminology? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. ADLS is an accepted terminology. We can use it as such. Acceptable. Absolutely. Okay, so we have understood the reason. The diagnosis of the patient is subdural hemorrhage, right? That's what the diagnosis of the patient. Yes, the diagnosis of the patient is subdural hemorrhage. What was the reason he was admitted? Due to fall. We have provided the management. After the management, as part of progress, we saw that he was shifted to ward on 12/5/2020. Physiotherapy was started. He had difficulty in mobilization and performing his activities of daily living. So this is up till his progress part. After that, as part of discharge plan, we want the reader. Who is the reader? Miss Harley Quinn, who is a community nurse, right? Miss Harley Quinn is a community nurse. So as part of the discharge plan, we want the reader to establish contact with a local physiotherapist, GP, and community nurse after discharge. So people, do not forget, we are already writing a letter to community nurse. हम एक community nurse को ही तो letter लिख रहे हैं. We are writing a letter to a community nurse. So now, do you want, as part of the discharge plan, that we want the community nurse to contact another community nurse? We want the community nurse to contact another community nurse after discharge, people. Is that what it means? So is that the discharge plan for the community nurse to whom we are writing the letter? Is this discharge plan for the community nurse to whom we are writing the letter? No. No. This is for whom then? This is for us, right? This discharge plan is for us, that we need to establish a contact with a local physiotherapist. We need to establish a contact with a GP, and we need to establish contact with a community nurse. And that is what we are doing. It is the same community nurse, right? It is the same community nurse. That is what we are doing. Monitor medication compliance. What do you mean by compliance, people? COMPLIANCE. What is compliance? What is compliance, people? Compliance means the ability to obey, the ability to adhere. If it is medication compliance, means the ability to adhere to the prescribed medication, right? The doctor, whatever medication has been prescribed by the doctor, if the patient is adhering it, following it, taking it as per the dose and frequency prescribed by the doctor, then the patient is called compliant. And if the patient fails to do so, he is considered non-compliant, and the noun is compliance. Have you understood, everyone? Yeah, so this is medication compliance. Compliance can use not only for the medication. If a doctor has prescribed certain exercise to do, right, for the patient to perform certain exercise, and he is not following it, he is not performing it, patient उसको follow नहीं कर पा रहा है, adhere नहीं कर पा रहा है, तो वहां पे भी आप non compliant word use कर सकते हो अगर patient adhere नहीं करता है तो. If patient does not adhere it, does not follow it, does not obey, that means he is non compliant. But if the patient follows exactly the same as said by the doctor, as advised by the doctor, as recommended by the doctor, then the patient is called as compliant. Clear alle? Compliant, compliance, non-compliance, all these three terms are clear to each one of you? Compliant, compliance, non-compliance, all these three terms are clear to each one of you? All right. So I hope it is clear to each one of you. Yes. So establish contact with a local physiotherapist, GP, and community nurse after discharge. We want the reader to monitor medication compliance. Continue physiotherapy. That means physiotherapy which has been given up till now, it needs to be continued. People, are you there following me? Is there any network issue? After Vanija's message, I cannot see any message. So are you there, people following me? Just say yes. Just say yes if you follow me. Yes. All right. All right, people. Wonderful. Okay. So, as part of the discharge plan, we want the reader to monitor the medication compliance. Continue physiotherapy means physiotherapy that has been given up till now, that needs to be continued. Right? That needs to be continued. Physiotherapy continue होना है. Complications observe होने हैं. We want the reader to observe for complication. We also want the reader to assist in ADLS, prevention of pressure ulcers, and the patient has follow-up visit after 2 weeks. And follow-up of full blood examination, follow-up after 2 weeks, or has a neurologist review. These points comes under which body paragraph and under what note? Excuse me, people. I know you know this. I have been having a very bad cough, I think for past 2 weeks, right? You all are the victims of the same, right? And I'm so sorry. I'm recovering slowly, right? Yes, it comes under recommendation paragraph. Alle? Follow-up things comes under recommendation paragraph under off-note point. And what is off-note, people? Off-note spelling is capital O small f space N-O-T-E, right? Capital O small f space N-O-T-E. Off-note is an important point which the reader must know, but maybe the reader does not have any direct involvement. एक ऐसा point जो reader को पता तो होना चाहिए, लेकिन शायद reader का कोई direct involvement ना हो, उसे हम क्या कहते हैं? Off-note कहते हैं. So that is why we are going to write a referral letter to Miss Harlequin, जो कि एक community nurse है, right? We are going to refer this patient because the patient, we are going to request home visits as well for continuing care of the patient because the patient requires continuing care. Why? Why? Why does the patient requires continuing care? Why does the patient requires continuing care? Why does the patient require continuing care? Yes, people. Why does the patient require continuing care? क्यों चाहिए patient को continuing care? क्यों चाहिए patient को home visit? What is the reason for home visit? Yes, people waiting for your answers. क्यों चाहिए patient को home visit? To assist in ADLS. क्यों चाहिए patient को assistance? ये वनिजा ये patient को assistance वेणो. Yes, tell me. What is the reason? Why does the patient require assistance in ADLS? Yes. What is the reason, people? What is the present condition of the... Yeah, so what's the present condition of the patient, Rinzi? What is the present condition of the patient? You all forgot what the diagnosis was. Everybody forgot what the diagnosis was. Okay, great. Mobility issue. Not yet recovered fully. Subdural hemorrhage. Exactly, people. Subdural hemorrhage. You all forgot the diagnosis of the patient. Great. That is the most important purpose of the letter. Yes. Exactly. He has subdural hemorrhage, isn't it? That is what the reason we are writing the letter. Right. Yes, people. Understood, everyone. So, is there any past medical background given in the task? There is no past medical background given in the task. That means the whole letter has to focus on which condition, people? The whole letter has to focus on the present condition. People, this is a known case or an unknown case? This is a known case or unknown case? This is known case or unknown case? Very slow answering today. Unknown case, absolutely. Because if it was known case, it was written something like write a letter to patient apostrophe as GPL. Write a letter to patient apostrophe is something when the task gives you such kind of clues, that is when we conclude that yes, this is known case. जब टास्क ऐसे कुछ क्लूज देता है कि पेशेंट के जीपी को लेटर लिखो या पेशेंट को रीडर नोन है, so when you are given such kind of terms, that is when you write known case, right? That is when you write the word update. So this is absolutely unknown case, and we know the organization also by now. Yes, absolutely right. Okay. So talking about the date of the letter, right? We are already provided today's date. We were already provided today's date. Date of the letter is 16/05/2020. So that's the date of the letter. After which you would leave a line. Title of the reader was clearly, crystal clearly mentioned, Miss Harley Quinn. So Miss Harley Quinn is the name of the reader. Community nurse. Do we add article the in front of community nurse, people? Is it required or it is fine that we do not add article the लगाना है कि नहीं लगाना है कि चलता है द नहीं लगाना, मतलब what is the thing? Can you tell me the concept of using article the in front of designation? What is the concept of using article the in front of designation, people? If name of the reader is clearly given, अगर reader का name clearly mentioned है तो designation के सामने article the नहीं लगाना है. Have you understood? If name of the reader is given, then you do not have to add article the in front of designation. If name of the reader is not given, like in this case, if name of the reader was not given, Miss Harley Quinn's name was not given, in that case, we would have started our address as the community nurse, capital T, community ka capital C, nurse ka capital N. Is it clear, people? So Miss Harley Quinn here, in this case, we have the name of the reader. So Miss Harley Quinn, first line, community nurse, second line, community health nurse, third, community health center, third line, Gotham next line, California next line. No punctuation throughout the address. Address में कहीं पर भी punctuation नहीं लगाना है. Leave a line after leaving line because we have the name of the reader. See, we have the name of the reader. So, dear Miss Quinn. Okay, dear Miss Quinn. We will address the reader with the second name, not with the first name. Okay, we address the reader with the second name, not with the first name. So, dear Miss Quinn, comma, leave a line, RE, full colon, Mr. Bruce Wayne, comma, aged 79 years, or RE, full colon, Mr. Bruce Wayne, comma, aged 79, or RE, full colon, Mr. Bruce Wayne, comma, 79 years old. People, date, address, salutation and RE is clear to each one of you. Date, address, salutation is clear to each one of you. Any confusion regarding the date, address, salutation and RE, each one of you let me know. सबको clear है date, address, salutation and RE? Yes, yes, absolutely. Absolutely right. I just read all your comments, people. Yes, I just read all your comments. Yes, it is right, Kavya. Right, everyone. Clear? Yes. Okay, so let's move on. Let's move on to our next slide. Let's talk about the first body paragraph. Right. So, sorry, about the introduction. So, as I told you that we are talking about the home visits, you have to use the word continuing care. See, the task said continued care, but nowhere in the letter writing we have seen the usage of continued care. It is continuing care. Okay. So, I am writing is present continuous active voice, people. Okay. Both ways are acceptable. Present continuous active voice is also acceptable. Present continuous passive voice is also acceptable, people. So I am writing to request home visits, or this letter is being written to request home visit. Both are right. Both are right. Both are equally acceptable, people. Is it clear to each one of you? I am writing to request home home visit. Present continuous active voice. This letter is being written to request home visit. Present continuous passive voice. Okay, so I am writing to request home visits for Mr. Bruce Wayne. In introduction, you write the full name of the patient. आप introduction में patient का पूरा पूरा नाम लिखते हो, ठीक है? So I am writing to request home visits for Mr. Bruce Wayne who requires. Why are you adding S with require? 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 Because subject is singular. right? So this is the concept under subject verb agreement, right? This is the concept under subject verb agreement. When subject is singular, verb is singular, we add s to the verb. When subject is plural, verb is plural, we do not add s to the verb. This is the concept of subject verb agreement, which we have already done in our ग्रामर क्लास. ठीक है, सब्जेक्ट वर्ब एग्रीमेंट का कंसेप्ट है ये. जब सब्जेक्ट सिंगुलर होता है तो वर्ब सिंगुलर होता है, और जब वर्ब सिंगुलर होता है तो वर्ब के साथ एस लगाना है. यहाँ पे पेशेंट सिंगुलर है, ब्रूस वेन सिंगुलर है, तो रिक्वायर के साथ एस आपको लगाना है. ठीक है, सो आई एम राइटिंग टू रिक्वेस्ट होम विजिट्स फॉर मिस्टर ब्रूस वेन हु रिक्वायर्स कंटिन्यूइंग केयर एंड असिस्टेंस व्हाइल ही इज रिकवरिंग फ्रॉम सबड्यूरल हेमरेज. फ्रॉम क्यों लगाया? Why have we used the application of from and not after? Why we have used the application of from and not after? And when do we use after? That's what my question is. When do we use after? When do we use after? When the patient is recovering. Very good. When the patient is recovering after a surgery, we use after. And when the patient is recovering from a medical condition, we use from, right? When the patient is recovering after a surgery, we use after. And when the patient is recovering from a medical condition, we use from. So here subdural hemorrhage is a medical, yes, very good. Surgery or accident we use after. So here subdural hemorrhage is a medical condition, so you will write while he is recovering from. Can I say I am writing to request home visits for Mr. Bruce Wayne who requires continuing care and assistance owing to recovery from subdural hemorrhage? Will that be considered correct now? Owing to recovery from subdural hemorrhage, will that be considered correct now? Will that be considered correct now? No, we do not use the word owing to recovery anymore, okay? We do not use the word owing to recovery anymore, people. Kindly do not use it. We use while he is recovering or while she is recovering. Yes. Okay, so let's talk about the first body paragraph. People in front of dates, we use preposition on. In front of month and in front of year. Just half an hour before I taught you in the grammar class. In front of dates, we use preposition on. In front of months and year, which preposition do we use? In front of months and year, which preposition do we use? In front of months, in front of year, which preposition do we use? In. Very good. Very good. In December, in 2010, in January, in 2015, right? So in front of months and in front of year, we use preposition in. But if you have a specific date given, specific day given, you always use preposition on, right? So on 07/05/2020, comma. Do not forget to put the punctuation. Okay, when you start a statement with the date, you need to put comma, but if you start the statement with the patient's name followed by admission, there you do not have to put comma. What I meant is, अगर आप लिखते हो on 07/05/2020 तो आपको कॉमा लगाना है. लेकिन अगर आप लिखते हो मिस्टर वेन वॉज एडमिटेड ऑन 07/05/2020, वहां पे आपको कॉमा नहीं लगाना है. वहां पे आपको डेट के बाद कॉमा नहीं लगाना है. दिस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. स्टिल मेनी स्टूडेंट्स have been found doing so. Okay, कि डेट के बाद कॉमा लगाना है, डेट के बाद कॉमा लगाना है. दिस इज करेक्ट, बट व्हेन यू स्टार्ट द स्टेटमेंट विद द डेट. ओके, so on 07/05/2020, comma, Mr. Wayne was admitted. Why was admitted? Because the process of admission is already over before the date of the letter. It's a completed action in the past done by somebody else. So simple past passive voice. Any action done in the past by somebody else is always written in simple past passive voice. Okay. So on 07/05/2020, comma, Mr. Wayne was admitted following a fall. Fall के वजह से, and I have already told you that 20 sorry, what did I say? Yes, home is a specific place. In front of whom you use a specific preposition, that is at. Okay, so on 07/05/2020, comma, Mr. Wayne was admitted following a fall at home. All the ingredients are clear to everyone. He had severe injury. Why he had severe head injury? Why not he has severe head injury? Why he had severe injury? Why not he has severe injury? What is the reason behind that? Why has, why not had, or why had, why not has? Yes. Why had, why not has? Because people, it is already over. We have already provided the management and we are writing in the introduction that the patient is recovering. Very good. Very good. Right. Very good. Right. So he had severe head injury, comma, loss of consciousness. On 07/05/2020, comma, Mr. Wayne was admitted following a fall at home. He had severe head injury, comma, loss of consciousness and difficulty in breathing. As part of treatment, as part of management, always you need to put comma. Okay. As, yes, right. So as part of management लिखो या as part of treatment लिखो, आपको comma लगाना ही है. So as part of treatment, comma, close neurological monitoring was provided in intensive care unit. Why close neurological monitoring provided? Why not close neurological monitoring was provided? Or why close neurological monitoring was provided is correct and close neurological monitoring provided is not correct? Because monitoring was provided by somebody else before the date of the letter when the patient was hospitalized, isn't it? Yes or no, people? क्लोज न्यूरोलॉजिकल मॉनिटरिंग जब पेशेंट हॉस्पिटलाइज था, पेशेंट को प्रोवाइड किया गया था पास्ट में किसी और के द्वारा. दैट मीन्स दिस इज सिंपल पास्ट पैसिव वॉइस. ओके, सो एज पार्ट ऑफ हिज ट्रीटमेंट क्लोज न्यूरोलॉजिकल मॉनिटरिंग वाज प्रोवाइडेड इन इंटेंसिव केयर यूनिट. लेटर, उसके बाद, अनुशेषम, लेटर कॉमा, he was shifted to ward. He was shifted to ward, that means somebody else shifted him, right? When you say he was shifted to ward, that means somebody else shifted him. So later he was shifted to ward, comma, and physiotherapy has been initiated. Physiotherapy has been initiated. Why not physiotherapy was initiated? Why I have written shifted to ward in simple past passive voice and physiotherapy has been initiated in present perfect passive voice? What is the difference? What is the reason? Physiotherapy के साथ has been क्यों लगाया, क्यों was नहीं लगाया? You all know the reason if you all have read the task along with me clearly. Come on, tell me. Later he was shifted to what, comma, and physiotherapy has been initiated. Why not was initiated? People, we have already read in the writing task under discharge plan, continue physiotherapy. That means while the patient was hospitalized, physiotherapy has been initiated up till then, isn't it? देखो, पेशेंट हॉस्पिटलाइज्ड है और एज पर द डिस्चार्ज प्लान बहुत ही क्लियरली, क्रिस्टल क्लियरली ये स्पेसिफाई किया गया था कि पेशेंट का फिजियोथेरेपी कंटिन्यू होना है, जिसका मतलब ये है कि फिजियोथेरेपी जो हमने इनिशिएट किया है हॉस्पिटलाइजेशन के दौरान पे, वो अब तक चला है. यस और नो, पीपल, हैव यू ऑल अंडरस्टूड? Have you all understood the reason for using has been with physiotherapy and the reason for using was shifted with he was shifted to the ward? Because the process of shifting is already over, but the process of physiotherapy needs to be continued. Yes, people, everybody got it. Okay, he is being discharged today. Come on, tell me, this is what tense, what voice? He is being discharged today is what tense, what voice? He is being discharged today is what tense, what voice, people? कौन सा tense, कौन सा voice है? He is being discharged today. Passive voice of, very good, present continuous, right? Passive voice of present continuous, correct. Passive voice of present continuous, right, people, correct. So after that you would leave a line. After leaving a line, Yes, present continuous passive voice. Okay, it is only in present continuous passive voice we use being. It's not that we don't use it in past continuous. Past continuous also has being, but fortunately we do not have the application of past continuous in our letter writing. Okay, so present continuous passive voice. Leave a line, second body paragraph. See, in introduction, we address the patient with the first name. In first body paragraph, we address the patient with the second name. In second body paragraph also, you will address the patient with the second name. Throughout the letter, you will address the patient with the second name, except the introduction and RE part. Okay. So as we have already discussed, Mr. Wayne has hypertension and diabetes mellitus because in the writing task, no time indication was given, right? Because in the writing task, no time indication was given. So Mr. Wayne has hypertension and diabetes mellitus. Again, he has occasional depression and insomnia, comma for which people, comma for which is what kind of connector? Supporting connector or opposing connector? Comma for which is supporting connector or opposing connector? What kind of connector is comma for which? What kind of connector is comma for which? Supporting connector, right? For which is a supporting connector, right? So Mr. Wayne has hypertension and diabetes mellitus, full stop. He has occasional depression and insomnia, जिसके लिए comma for which he is on antidepressant या comma he takes antidepressant. सिर्फ यही नहीं, इसके अलावा इतमात्रम अल्लाह, in addition comma he has, again simple present tense, he has periodic problem with self administration of medication. इसीलिए क्योंकि पेशेंट को प्रॉब्लम है, पीरियोडिक प्रॉब्लम है सेल्फ एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन ऑफ मेडिकेशन को लेकर के, इसलिए अदगुंडा, दैट्स व्हाई people don't use that's why. Okay, that's why I'm telling you that it's the meaning of therefore. We do not use that's why in letter writing. Okay, otherwise Shali ma'am said in the live session that that's why. No, I'm just giving you another word for therefore, but do not use therefore, do not use that's why. Okay, that is absolutely informal. So in addition comma he has periodic problem with the self administration of medication, इसलिए semicolon therefore comma मॉनिटर हिज मेडिकेशन कंप्लायंस, इसीलिए मॉनिटर करना है मेडिकेशन कंप्लायंस. अच्छा मुझे जल्दी से ये बताओ, देयरफॉर मॉनिटर हिज मेडिकेशन कंप्लायंस के बदले और क्या लिख सकते हैं? व्हाट एल्स कैन बी सब्स्टिट्यूटेड वेल इन द वेरी सेम मैनर एज ऑफ मॉनिटर हिज मेडिकेशन कंप्लायंस. सो इंस्टेड ऑफ मॉनिटर हिज मेडिकेशन कंप्लायंस, व्हाट इज अदर वे टू कंप्लीट द स्टेटमेंट? In addition comma he has periodic problem with self administration of medication, इसलिए therefore comma what else can you say? What else can you say? In addition comma he has periodic problem with self administration and medication, therefore his medication compliance needs to be monitored. Can't I say like that? His medication compliance needs to be monitored. Can't I say like that? Is that not a correct usage? Monitor his medication compliance. His medication compliance need to be monitored. Both are same statement, no people? Meaning is same, yes or no? Right? Yes. And then after that, socially comma, he lives alone. So first body paragraph and second body paragraph is clear to each one of you. First body paragraph and second body paragraph is clear to each one of you people. Clear? Right? You all have understood that what kind of grammatical ingredients we have used in both first body paragraph and second body paragraph. Talking about the recommendation paragraph, people, there are various starters. We can start our recommendation paragraph. As you all know that in view of the above is a correct usage, given the above is a correct usage, in light of the above is a correct usage. Straight away starting from it would be, yeah, straight away starting from it would be appreciated is also a correct usage. ये सारे usages clear है, correct है, ठीक है? तो ये आप पे डिपेंड करता है कि अगर वर्ड काउंट ऑफ द लेटर ज्यादा है तो आप स्ट्रेट अवे इट वुड बी अप्रिशिएटेड से भी स्टार्ट कर सकते हो, ठीक है, नहीं तो आप इन व्यू ऑफ द अबव से भी स्टार्ट कर सकते हो, ये आप पे डिपेंड करता है, इट्स एब्सोल्युटली अप टू यू एट द टाइम ऑफ एग्जाम, वॉट एवर यू फील लाइक, बट मेक श्योर दैट इट इज करेक्टली रिटन. ओके, सो इन व्यू ऑफ द अबव कॉमा इट वुड बी अप्रिशिएटेड इफ यू कुड. आई हैव टोल्ड न्यूमरस टाइम्स इन द क्लास कि कुड वुड शुड के बाद हमेशा फर्स्ट फॉर्म ऑफ द वर्ब ही यूज होता है. आफ्टर कुड वुड शुड वी ऑलवेज यूज फर्स्ट फॉर्म ऑफ द वर्ब. So in view of the above, comma, it would be appreciated if you could conduct home visits for Mr. Wayne. Please observe, see, please observe that in the whole recommendation paragraph we are asking, we are using the verb in the first form. Okay, so please observe for complications, comma, assist him in ADLS. So say if you could conduct, first form of the verb. Please observe, observe first form of the verb. Assist, assist first form of the verb. Monitor, monitor first form of the verb. Monitor his skin integrity. After two, we always use first form of the verb to prevent pressure ulcers. Pressure ulcers, full stop. Off note, I have already told you that off note is a point which is an important note that the reader must know, but maybe the reader does not have any direct involvement. That kind of point is written in off note. Hello Sophie, hi, how are you doing? Long time, Sophie. Right, yes. So off note, his physiotherapy is to be continued or his physiotherapy needs to be continued. Both are right. Okay, needs to be continued is also simple present tense. Is to be continued is also simple present tense. So his physiotherapy is to be continued or needs to be continued, comma, and he has a follow-up visit after 2 weeks. So why have I used comma and together? Why have I used comma and together? Because both the statements are two different purposes, right? Both the statements are two different purposes. That is, physiotherapy is to be continued is one purpose and he has a follow-up after 2 weeks. 2 हफ्ते के बाद होने वाला purpose एक different purpose है. So दो purposes को implement करने के लिए, दो purposes को साथ में दिखाने के लिए हम कौन से combination को use करते हैं? Comma और and के combination को use करते हैं. Clear everyone, right? After that, I have not put up the conclusion along with this. After this, you would leave a line. You will write the conclusion. That is, if you have any queries, comma, please do not hesitate to contact me. Full stop, leave a line. While signing off, yours sincerely or yours faithfully. While signing off, yours sincerely or yours faithfully, remember we have the name of the reader. जब reader का नाम mentioned होता है तो yours क्या लिखते हैं? Yours sincerely लिखते हैं. जब reader का नाम mentioned नहीं होता है हम yours faithfully लिखते हैं. तो yours sincerely, right? Yours sincerely, comma, leave a line, registered nurse, है ना? क्योंकि and why are we leaving a line after yours sincerely? Why are we leaving a line after yours sincerely? Because name of the registered nurse is not given. Right? Why are we leaving a line after yours sincerely? Because name of the registered nurse is not given. Right, people? So task, organization, date, address, salutation are my patented dialogues, na? Must have got bored of it, say sitting the same, listening the same dialogue in the class also. So date, address, salutation, RE, organization, signing off, when to write sincerely, when to write faithfully, when to leave a line, when not to leave a line, how to write therefore, how to write for which, when to write off note. See, these are very, very small things, but very, very sensitive and very, very important. So I hope today's task was clear to each one of you. Organization is clear to each one of you. All those people who are new to the channel, please subscribe the channel and press the bell icon for more notifications so that you're updated about all the latest live sessions which are done here in this channel so that you don't miss any. Right, people? So task is clear, organization is set, everything is clear to each one of you. So we'll catch up at 9 p.m. in the Zoom session. Yes, people. ठीक है, चलो तो फिर 9 बजे मिलते हैं हम लोग. टास्क जरूर प्रैक्टिस करना. लेटर करेक्शंस, देयर आर मेनी पीपल हु स्टिल डू नॉट सेंड लेटर्स फॉर करेक्शन. आई डोंट नो व्हाई. इज इट सोफी? ओके. This video will be safe, ma'am? Question mark. Yes, it will be. It will be there in this channel. This video will be there in this channel. Okay. Right. Yes. So people done. टास्क सेट, सब सही है, सब समझ में आ गया. लेटर लिखते बनता है. इंपॉर्टेंट चीजें सब समझ में आ गई है सबको. सब लोग बहुत अच्छे से लेटर लिखेंगे. राइट? चलो तो अब हम लोग मिलेंगे. So I have finished this session here in this Hindi channel. but the same topic needs to be continued in FB Live because I have reached only up to the first body paragraph. I need to complete the second body paragraph and recommendation paragraph, right, people? So I will continue with the very same Mr. Bruce Wayne in Friday live session. ठीक है, because there I have not finished so far. यहाँ पे बहुत जल्दी खत्म हो गया. ठीक है, Friday this needs to be finished. Alright, people. So that is all for today. Thank you, everyone. Bye bye. Good night. Catch you at 9 p.m. for the Zoom session. Thank you. Bye bye.